Okay, it says I'm live here. I'm trying to see if I can see it on YouTube. I don't see it. It says I'm live. All right. So we've got. Let me see if I can see it somewhere else. Ah, here we go. Okay, so we are live. All right. So what I'm going to talk about today is that there there've been two leaks for two episodes. So with all the streaming services in the world, it seems like HBO's been having trouble releasing the episode exactly on time. So the episode is scheduled to be released in about 25 minutes from right now, and it was released several hours before in Amazon Germany, right? And so if you're watching videos about Game of Thrones for upcoming episodes, the upcoming episode is episode 2 of season 8, then there's going to be spoilers. And if you've never watched any episodes of Game of Thrones, there's going to be spoilers. So that's just my caveat here. Now, I released several videos last week because I was on vacation and I really love Game of Thrones. Read all the books, watched all the videos several times. So the this particular episode we're gonna have coming up. They released pictures of the episode on the 15th that very few people picked up. HBO PR did, and then today in Amazon Prime Germany, for a while people got the full episode. It was uploaded everywhere as fast as they could get, and then it was taken down everywhere. So we have a very good idea what's going to be in this episode. I'm going to tell you right now, based on the videos that I did prior to this week, just speculating, seems very much like what I was speculating on. That of course there's going to be a trial of Jaime Lannister, which is pretty obvious from the trailer. I saw no evidence that Jaime died after that. He was executed after that. And the other thing is that, Jaime. So Jaime's going to be supposedly supported by Tyrion. Obvious. Anybody that watched the show would know that his brother Tyrion, who Jaime saved after Tyrion was condemned to death, is gonna stick up for his brother. Brienne's gonna stick up for Jaime. Like, oh. So I have not seen the episode because it was taken down so quickly. I was out of town for vacation. I wanted to rest, and I was not terribly interested in watching the thing. But I did look at the Twitter, and the Twitter. The only thing I thought was interesting, but not that interesting, was that the Arya and Gendry, instead of flirting, they move a little bit further than flirting. And I think that's a good thing, but it's not particularly surprising. Now, looking at the pictures of the episode before the leaks, one thing that stood out to me was that there was a lot of drinking and eating in the episode. There was a lot of wine and other things. And to me, every time Game of Thrones eats or drinks, people die, right? You get the red wedding, you get the purple wedding, you get Arya killing the head of the House of Frey, and then Arya killing everybody else in the House of Frey. So anytime people eat and drink, it's bad news on Game of Thrones. That being said, I also think that the fundamental core of the series right now is fan service. that, you know, before we got past George R.R. Martin's books, right, books 1 through 5, that it was an unpredictable series. But since then, it's been all about preserving the characters we love and only having a few deaths of bad people or insignificant people. And so I don't think we're going to see that in this episode. I saw no evidence from the leaks that it's in this episode. It's a lot more character development. We're going to have the trial of Jaime. The picture that I put up here is one of the season 8 episode 2 for Daenerys Targaryen. She looks a little chubby there, right? So maybe we will hear that Daenerys is with child in this episode. That's been widely speculated that Daenerys is with child with Aegon Targaryen, aka Jon Snow's baby. And I think we're going to get that. We might get that in that episode. There's obviously, from the leaked scenes, there's obviously going to be some heart-to-hearts between Jon and Dany. Like, that's a surprise. It's not a surprising show. There's not a lot of surprises. I'm hoping that they're going to have some surprises in the show. One of the things that I've talked about in the analysis, the trailers and the teasers and the pictures, is that we really don't go past episode 3. That beyond Winterfell, none of this stuff goes past episode 3, and so I'm hoping that there's going to be some surprises there. But I don't see any surprises in episode 2, even from the teasers and trailers. So what will we see? I think we're going to see a lot of battle planning. We're going to see a heart-to-heart with Dany and Jon. That they're going to talk to. They're probably going to talk about Jon's birth and his origins, and that he's Targaryen, and that she's his aunt. And they might also talk about that Dany's got a baby. Just based on this picture that's right next to me, I think, it indicates to me that Dany's got a baby. I think there's, from the leak scenes, there's going to be a heart-to-heart with Dany and Sansa, right? That they're gonna try to work things out a little more. It's not clear from the leak scenes what was the resolution with the Jaime trial. I think there will be a Jaime trial, but I'm not sure what it is. The other thing that from the leaked episode is we're gonna get the White Walkers, the Night King. They're gonna come to Winterfell, but not necessarily attack it. So this episode is scheduled to be an hour and 1 minute, and then the next episode is going to be about an hour and 20 minutes long. So the big battle we think is going to happen in episode 3. Episode 4, it's not clear what's going to happen in that. I assume some sort of retreat or advance from Winterfell to King's Landing. And I think the battle for King's Landing is going to happen in episode 5, and a resolution of the entire series in episode 6. But, so I think the thing that comes across in this episode is going to be more of this character development. We've had all these characters in different parts of the world for a long time, and we're going to continue to have that they're all together and they're all going to interact. And we might have some action with Arya, that she may have some sort of battle scenes in this episode. That was indicated by the episode 2 trailer. And maybe we'll get to find out what her weapon is beyond her relations with Gendry, who is the rightful heir to the Baratheon throne. It seems like, I think the one thing with Gendry is that there's and I've talked about this in other things in this channel I've got a couple videos on the Slow Boat Sailing channel, which is my primary channel, which people actually watch. I just do this for fun. And that Gendry is a Baratheon. It's widely believed that he's a bastard, but he might be actually a true-born Baratheon, the son of Cersei and Robert Baratheon. But Cersei wanted to make Jaime's sons the rightful heirs, and they didn't. She wanted to hide Gendry, and that's maybe the reason why he was not killed as quickly as the other bastards of Robert Baratheon, the usurper that got rid of the Targaryens. My general point is that anybody would be crazy. I know that we have watched all these episodes and we think that Jaime Lannister is a good guy. But he's not a good guy. He's done some really bad stuff. And anybody from the outside looking in, such as Dany, would think that Jaime is a bad dude. He needs to be punished. It's about time, 20 years later, that he paid the price. So he's killed his kin, his cousin, for no reason. He crippled Bran, and he murdered the man he was sworn to protect to promote his family's interest. Bad dude by any stretch. I know he did all this for love, blah, 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 and he wanted to save the kingdom, yeah, blah, blah, blah. Nobody in the real life would actually believe that. So, the fact that he's gone into the wolf's den and the dragon's den, he would be. But do I think that's going to happen? No, I don't, because in the teaser to the series, episode 8, that they showed him in the battle for Winterfell. At least there's fire in the background, and there's Jaime fighting. There's also been some sort of leak where Jaime was said to be on horseback and fighting the White Walkers. So I think he's going to be in the battle for Winterfell. Would he be in reality? No, they wouldn't trust him a bit, but maybe they would let him out and fight the whites because they thought they were all going to die anyways. Maybe. But certainly Dany would not show him any mercy if she were not crazy. But they do crazy things in this show, and I don't think you should assume they're not going to do things that are kind of totally irrational, because it is. I mean, the whole plot in season 7 of getting the White Walker up north to convince Cersei was completely a ridiculous plot. So they're going to possibly do ridiculous plots in this. How it's going to end, I don't know. I think that the only thing that ties it to the books is that Grimm, George R.R. Martin, has told them the ending, and supposedly they're going to get to the ending, but how they get there, how realistic that they get there, I don't know how they're going to do that. Let's see. I don't think you could find that leaked thing anymore. I tried a little bit later in the day. I could not. But I didn't care that much either, to be honest, because I knew I was going to see it at 8 Central Time. And that, that's my plan. My general point is that if you like Game of Thrones, you should subscribe to HBO through some of the streaming services, or the satellite services, or the cable services. They spend a lot of money on that show. So one of the videos that I came out with was, how much they're paying the top actors. So it seems like the Targaryens and which I include Jon Snow in, and then the Lannisters are making $500,000 per episode, and then the son and daughters of Ned Stark are making 175,000, so they're making about 40% of what the Lannisters and the Targaryens are per episode. Yeah, so the Targaryens and Lannisters get the gold, and the Starks get the turnips. That's the way it goes. So, the I don't expect a lot of surprises in this, but because there's a lot of hinting that they're going to be drinking and eating. There could be poison. That's what it has been in the past. Red wedding, purple wedding, Arya's murders of the Freys. So could happen. I don't know. It's possible that Arya could murder Jaime and that she dresses up as Jaime later on in the season. I don't think that's very likely. I don't think that she's really following the rules of the men. That's possible. Let me know in the comments, what you're expecting from the upcoming season. Who do you want to win the Game of Thrones outcome of the Game of Thrones series on HBO? And for that reason, how could you bet on it? Because those people could clean up. And so one of the points that I had in a video earlier in the week is that probably no one wins the Iron Throne, because otherwise those insiders would be dumping the money on whoever won and reaping the rewards. But what I find is that they are not dumping the money. That there's a big spread. The most likely candidate to win the Game of Thrones is 20%. My guess is that you don't get a payoff for who wins the Game of Thrones if nobody wins, if there's no throne, right? Nobody rules Westeros in the Seven Kingdoms. And so I think that's the most likely scenario. And that's what the Slow Boat Sailing YouTube channel voters said too. We got a couple of videos on the Slow Boat Sailing channel. We got about 5, maybe it's maybe the 6th of Game of Thrones here on the Linus Wilson channel. Let's see. So tell me who your favorite. I haven't seen any people in the chat. Tell me who your favorite person is in Game of Thrones. Who's your favorite player of the Game of Thrones? Who do you think should win? I like unpredictability. So one of the things that I liked about the early seasons was that they were unpredictable. I did not like season 7 because I thought it was totally predictable. The thing that really among the things that really annoyed me about season 7 was that they, that whole thing, Jaime charging the dragon, right? Drogon, charging Drogon and surviving, right? He survives at the last minute and they don't catch him, and he doesn't boil in the boiling water when Bronn knocks him over or anything like that. I really didn't like that. And that's just another reason why Dany would want to execute him for sure, because he tried to kill Drogon. Alright, so we got about 6 minutes until Game of Thrones premieres worldwide for everybody except for those lucky people in Germany who got to see it early. Last week, people who had DirecTV Now, which is my HBO subscription, were able to see it early. But I didn't see it early. I didn't think to click on it. So there you go. You got a streaming service. Think to click on it early. Maybe it'll be there. It wasn't on Amazon Prime in Germany this week. It was in DirecTV Now last week. If you can't wait, obviously, if you want to wait, you wait until 9 p.m. U.S. New York City time, Eastern time, and then it'll come out. But it seems like it comes out pretty early. Last season, there were just tons of script leaks. I don't think my lack of enjoyment for season 7 was due to the script leaks. It was due to the writing. I've not seen any evidence that the writing is substantially improved, although I did like episode 1 than most of all the episodes in season 7, just because it had a little character development, not because it was unpredictable. I thought it was more reasonable that they would meet each other in Winterfell to fight the Night King than it was in possibly season. Than it was back when they went to the Dragon Pit in season 7. I think episode 7 or 6. That I found was very implausible. Obviously, that would be a situation where Cersei would kill them all. And the fact that she didn't try to do that doesn't make any sense to me. And she will definitely kill them all if she got the chance. Alright, so anyways, on that light note about the madness of Queen Cersei, I'm going to say goodbye so I can watch it, and you should too on whatever streaming satellite or cable service you can. Season 8, Episode 2, one of the 5 final episodes of Game of Thrones. Only 6 episodes coming. The later episodes I think are going to be longer, so episodes 3, 4, 5 at least are going to be almost feature length. This one's a kind of short 1 hour episode. Okay, talk to you later. Bye.